What do you think is the most important skill that you need to survive in the tech space? Is it knowing how to write in a particular language, maybe Java, maybe JavaScript, maybe TypeScript, maybe Python? Is knowing a language the most important? Or is it knowing how to structure your code to make it look all pretty and clean and small? Or maybe you're very, very verbose. What do you think is the most important skill that you need to survive in the tech space? If you said troubleshooting, then you get the gold star. In my personal opinion, in my humble opinion, I believe that troubleshooting, debugging is the very most important skill that someone they must develop to survive in the tech space. Why is that? Techraft, why do you think that debugging, figuring out what's wrong with something, is the most important skill? Well, great that you ask. The answer that I would give you is because we will always have issues. Always have issues when we are building software. When you're building anything, you will have issues. Follow me here. You ever get something and you start assembling it, it comes in the mail, or you go to the store, you pick it up, something you have to assemble. You start to assemble it and it's looking good. And then you find that there are all these extra parts left over. You're like, okay, that doesn't seem right. And then, if you're like me, then you go and you look at the instructions. You're like, oh, I was supposed to do this, that, and the other. Real life story. I mentioned previously, I was helping my parents redo their kitchen. I was assembling all of their cabinets that came from Home Depot. And I have all of these screws left over. I'm like, why do I have so many screws left over? I didn't notice that I was supposed to put these screws in like a bunch of other places. So I had to go back and add all these screws. So it's all about not only reading the instructions, right? Because even sometimes I will follow instructions step by step on documentation that people have on these open source platforms. And based on maybe that I'm using a different IDE, maybe that some configuration that I have, maybe I'm using Mac and they did it on Windows. It is not one for one. So now we have to figure out what the problem is. That is the story of tech. The people that I work with, geniuses. They are absolute geniuses. But even they are debugging all the time to figure out why their code isn't working, or why their code suddenly stopped working, or maybe how the customer is using our product is not the way that we anticipated them using it. And now we need to figure out, why is it doing such a thing? So regardless of all the languages that they know, regardless of how smart that they are, they're able to come up with these amazing ideas and concepts. We still must know how to debug. I'm going to give you another story. Just recently, and for you guys who don't know, on resumeflow.app, where you can get your resume analyzed, we just launched the ability to sign in with Patreon. And if you are a member of the techraft Patreon at techraft.dev, you will get access to the starter plan included in your Patreon membership. That is one of the benefits that we're offering at techraft.dev. Very, very soon, we're going to be also extending that functionality to the Tech Barbarians coaching portal, where you can use that to self-coach, track your goals, track your weekly goals, your daily goals, do a quarterly alignment. If you are into the health stuff, if you're trying to get healthy and you're fasting, you can track your fasting, your exercise, all of that stuff. It is built into that. And very, very soon, we're going to start the project to create the mobile app version of it to connect to the database and all that. And we're in the process of adding how you can authenticate with Patreon. And if you are a member of the techraft Patreon, you also get access to that on the house. So on Resume Flow, you're saving $10. On the Tech Barbarians coaching portal, you are saving almost $20 for the techraft Patreon membership. You get all of that. And as we add more tools, as we build more things on this channel, those will be they'll be included for all the Patreon members as well. All right. So with that being said, I have one of my tech barbarians testing the Patreon integration functionality, and they come to me and it says something isn't working. When I go and I click on the connect with Patreon, sign in with Patreon, I'm getting this error. I'm like, interesting, because I didn't really have a way to test it when once I integrated it with the website. So they're testing and saying, it's not working. I'm like, all right, so let's meet up, let's jump on a call. And we started going through it together. And I'm making changes, and things still aren't working. And you know what I did? As I'm troubleshooting, I said, what about if we add some logs to the application so that once you try to log in with Patreon, you're actually getting some sort of response on what's going wrong. And now we can start breaking it down closer and closer and closer. So what I'm going to do right now, I am going to show you, because we use Lovable to build out the application. I am going to show you the prompting journey and how I'm going to show you also for the Tech Barbarians coaching portal as well, because that one, my thought was, okay, I fixed it on Resume Flow. Let me go and fix it the same exact way on the Tech Barbarians coaching portal. It was different. There were and that's why there's never a one size fits all solution for tech. I said, okay, let me go and do that. And I said, oh, there's a whole other story. So it was a whole other debugging session. And I said to Lovable, like, hey, can we add some logs to find out what exactly is going on? And it helped us tremendously. So I'm going to jump over into the resume flow first to get us started. So my tech barbarian, then they hit me up. They said, all right, I'm getting this error when I'm trying to log in. So I'm looking into it. I'm looking at the Supabase logs, and it says that the error is a 400 error, saying that there's an invalid parameter. So I'm like, I copy the error from Supabase and I put it into Lovable, and it sees what the error is. So it says it's going to fix it. And all of this is happening while I still have my campaign ID and my tier ID misconfigured. So now it's trying. And as I'm testing it, it's telling me now I'm getting new errors, right? So now this error, so at this point, I don't know that this is the wrong campaign ID. This is actually the tier ID from Patreon, but I don't know that. So I say, all right, this is the error. It says no membership found for this campaign ID. I'm like, okay. And now, so now it's looking for it, and everything that's being done, it is like, this is my fault because I have a false understanding and a false assumption of what is the campaign ID versus what is a tier ID. I think possibly that Patreon could give a better documentation, or maybe it's quite possible that I didn't read it properly. I didn't look for it properly, but just trying to find the campaign ID and the tier ID. So it's a bit tricky. All right. The tier IDs is a bit tricky. So Lovable tells me, all right, this is the error that we're having. And this is my test email address, no matching user found. So we're having two different issues. Right. And I'm not going to go through this whole entire thing over here. But ultimately, what ends up happening is working with my tech barbarian, we identify that I come to realize, oh, the campaign ID is the actual Patreon of the creator. So I updated that, and then I said, okay, now I understand what the tier ID is. So I fixed that, and I'm looking through the logs to find out what is the message that Patreon is giving you. And to the point where the person I'm working with, they're able to validate their account inside of their Patreon membership inside of the Resume Flow app. So then we try to authenticate by logging in and then they get a different error message. I'm like, why? Okay, now we're already getting that error. It turns out through more debugging. Let me see if I can take a look at so as you can see here, fetching Patreon identity. So all of these logs that are here inside of Supabase is what we're using to be able to see what is going right, what is going wrong, where it's getting stuck. You see, like over here, we have the no membership found for regular campaign, and the campaign ID, that is the incorrect campaign ID. And then I did that again. Let me see if I escaped that. No. And let me see, found exists. So it found the user, created the session, but it could not find that user was actually part of the of that campaign. Like they're not subscribed to that person's Patreon. So after fixing all of that, now we're able to see that the information is coming through. So now we have the right campaign ID, we have the right status, that they're an active patron, and these are the tiers that they have. So it's properly routing and it's properly giving the user the correct access to the tier that they should get because we properly configured it. But this would be impossible to do if we were not if we didn't properly know how to debug, how to troubleshoot, how to prompt properly. It says, and think about it, because so many people, they'll just be throwing stuff at the wall. But the important thing to do is to actually, hey, print out, log what is happening, so I can be able to understand what's wrong, where it's happening, at what point, because basically what's happening is this documentation is going through each step, and it's writing out what's happening here. So when something goes off, you're like, okay, this is exactly where this is happening. Let's go ahead and fix that. The last example that I want to give is from our Tech Barbarians coaching portal. So let's go over to, all right, so now on the Tech Barbarians coaching portal, right, where you'll be able to, like I said earlier, manage your long-term goals, your short-term goals, your weekly goals, your daily goals, and be able to reflect on that, create a reward system, gamify your way of working with yourself so that you can win. So the issue that I was having is I'm trying to set up Stripe integration for once we launch it, people can sign up for it. They have 7-day free trial. Then they're going to be paying the monthly fee after the 7-day free trial if they like it, whatever they want to do, right? The issue that I was having an issue with Stripe. After you log in and you start using the platform and it's okay to continue, you need to sign up. And they would go and sign up. They'd go to Stripe, put in all their payment information, and you know what happened? It would not register the user as because they would make the payment and the payment would go through Stripe, but it was not reflecting in the platform that they were actually subscribed members, so they wouldn't be able to use it. It would just keep taking them back and forth over and over and over again. So I am trying, and this is part of the work that my QA engineer needed to test, and I can't figure out what's going wrong. So we're going back and forth, and I will tell you, because Stripe integration, Stripe is probably one of the most used platforms for payment, but integrating with it can be a bit tricky and a bit daunting. And this is like my third time working on Stripe. So basically, what I have my Stripe configuration set up inside of the Stripe test environment, and this is what I said to it. I said that I configured everything because I'm following the guide that Lovable is giving me, that Stripe is giving me, and I said I configured everything, but it's still not coming through from Stripe. I'm getting an error. This is the request that Stripe is sending, and I copied and pasted the whole request that Stripe is sending to the Tech Barbarian coaching portal, and then it's returning a error to Stripe, and I can't figure out why. So Lovable, it's looking into it, it's trying to figure it out. It cannot figure it out. It could not figure it out. It did not know what was wrong, right? So I'm not even going to read through all of this because it didn't work. So so my next prompt is, I said, this still isn't working, and I am at my wit's end. I do not know what is going on, why it's not connecting. So what I said was, can we add more logging to try to debug the issue, because everything that you're telling me to do is matching. I had the configuration, because basically to set it up, I had to put in the webhook from Stripe. I had to put in the test secret key from Stripe, and that's the way it's able to communicate. And that's how it's able to go to Stripe, do the billing, do the payment. And then, but now when Stripe is saying, hey, this is done, the coaching portal is saying, I don't know what to do with this. I am so lost. I'm so confused. So I said, let's add some logging. Let's add some debugging. And so I'll add logging and debugging. So I'll add detailed logging to the webhook handler to capture exactly what's happening with the signature verification. So it added it, and now I'm like, all right, I'm going to give it a try. And this is what happened. This is what happens at in the logging, right? So it's attempting to send a test verification, right? And it says test webhook verification failed. And this is after me going maybe about like 30, 45 minutes going back and forth trying to figure out what's wrong. By putting in the login, the logging, right? It said that, oh, this is the error. Let me see if I can find it over here. This is the error that we're having. The test webhook verification failed. Subtle crypto provider cannot be used in a synchronous context. So it says use await. So basically it was telling us what was the problem, but the fact that we were not adding logging to it, we weren't able to figure out what it actually was. So by me thinking like, all right, let's add some more logging, because we had some, but not enough. I said, let's add some more logging to this so that we can actually determine what is the root cause of the failure. So if I go back down to, so this is when it started working. I want to go back down to where it wasn't working. Test webhook verification failed. And now, so now we have the webhook debug start. So we have signature, attempting production, we have all of this detail over here, right? All of this detail of why it's failing. And I was able to go back into Lovable, and I just said, check the logs. And now the fact that it's able to check the logs, because we're capturing that information, says, oh, the error is the subtle crypto provider. And then, and just as simple as that, no more going, because I had to make sure that I wasn't the crazy one, that all of my configuration was correct. And by me doing that, I say, all right, so I know for a fact that my configuration is correct. Can you, so now look at the logs. It says, oh, okay, now I see what the problem is. And I said, we're making progress now, because I didn't get the same error as before. Now we're getting a different error. Cannot read properties of undefined reading type. So now it says, okay, the webhook is now verifying successfully, verify with tests. So now we got past one hurdle. Let's get past the other hurdle. And now Lovable was able to fix that, fix the missing await. So a very, very simple fix. And then after being able to successfully subscribe, and you click on the modal. So this is just another functionality that we're adding. So I'm not going to go into that details, right? But the key point is being able to, whatever system that you're using, being able to add the proper logging and debugging. If you've tuned into our live streams where we've been doing the Stream Deck plugin, so much debugging that goes into there to find out, okay, why is this not showing up on the Stream Deck part of it? Oh, why is this not working on the flip down clock, or all the different timers that we're implementing? Why are these things not working? And through our debugging, through our logging, we're able to narrow down what's the problem piece by piece, until we get everything working. For me, I am not, I will scream this from the mountaintop. I am not the best engineer in the world whatsoever. Not even a little bit. Syntax, concepts, all that, I struggle with those a lot. But one thing that I try to be, even if I'm not the best at this, I try to be the best figure it outer, if that's a term, right? I try to be the best figure it outer. I try to be one of the best at troubleshooting and debugging. I've been debugging since I was probably like 5 years old. Why is this not working? Why is that not working? How can I make it to work? And we need to build that mindset, develop that mindset of figuring things out. I've seen so many people, whether it's in tech, whether it's content creation, they just settle. They settle for how they think things have to be, instead of paving out a pathway for how things ought to be, the way they want things to work. I am not the type of person who's like, oh, well, this is how it is. I'm just going to have to use what they give me. Through the use of these tools, these vibe coding tools, I will just build it myself. I looked over and over and over for a tool to do our countdown the way that I wanted it to do, and I couldn't find it. So you know what we did? We built our own Stream Deck plugin, and we were able to make content out of it. We're able to make it exactly to our liking, and take suggestions from our friends on how to make it even better. So Junior said, yeah, why don't we give the option to show the timer on, like, as on the stream. I'm like, okay, cool, let's do it. And my guy, your car, he was asking me for a long time the flip down timer, and now we got the flip down timer as well. We just added a pause functionality to it. So when the timer is going, we can pause it, we can restart it, all of that. So my thing is, stop allowing people to tell you this is what it's going to be, because I don't accept that. I mean, you know what? I will just build my own if I have to. If you've already made it, great. If not, I will build my own. And every single thing that we've done, the speech coaching app, debugging, the time cost calculator, debugging, the Stream Deck plugin, debugging, the Tech Barbarians coaching portal, debugging, the resume flow, debugging. To me, that is the most important skill that you need to survive in this tech space. And if you want to get better at debugging, have the right mindset on how to figure things out, how to troubleshoot, then I implore you to join us at techraft.dev especially when we do our Vibe Coding Chills. It is a meetup that we do every other Saturday where we are going through, we're talking, we're hanging out. I'm showing the different features that we're adding. I'm going to be showing like how to connect your resume flow account to the Patreon, how to sign up for resume flow with your Patreon. I'm going to be showing what we added to the coaching portal. I'm going to be answering all of your questions, whether it's about debugging, whether it's about getting to tech, whether it's about cybersecurity. If I don't have the answer, I promise you I will get it for you. And that's where we collaborate. That's where we win together. I don't care what everyone else is doing around the world. I care what we are doing, what we are building, and how we are winning together. Whatever I build, it is for my tech barbarians, for them to grow and to level up. All right. But that is everything for today. Hopefully you found this helpful and informative. If you think that there is another top skill other than debugging, drop me a comment. Let me know. I would love to hear it and we can talk about it. If you have any other comments and you want to talk about other tools that we can use for debugging, leave me a comment, all that good stuff. But until next time, you guys have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, a wonderful, wonderful week. Techraft, we are out.
They see the wins, but they don't see the work. They don't see the pioneer digging in the dirt, digging to the core. This that 305 hustle, baby. Let's ride. They call me pioneer, I'm digging to the core. You just want to shine, I'm the one who found the ore. I'm a one-man wrecking crew, I open tune. Knocking down these milestones one by noon. I'm a ultimate team player, but I lead the tech. Put the whole damn city, put the team up on my back. Yeah, I run the new stack, building on the mainframe. This that tech coach hustle, building up the brain. I don't back down, I just double up the work. When they shut the door, I find another quirk. In the system, in the market, man, I'm always on. One-man army from the dusk, come to the dawn. This that pioneer flow, digging in the deep. Maximize potential while they fast asleep. One-man army, but I move like a boss. Never backing down, I just pay the cost. This that pioneer flow, digging in the deep. Maximize potential while they fast asleep. One-man army, but I move like a boss. Yeah, I run this game, I just pay the cost. This ain't a rap talk, this is my real life. Built a new foundation, cutting through the stripe. Got the new tech running, stacking up the data. Got the AI working heavy, I'm the new creator. I'm a boss to my team, the new recruits. Show them how to win, how to get the loot. From the live stream to the brand new platform. I'm the one they call when they in a damn storm. I'm a pioneer, man, in that digital stack. Got the new school models running in the back. I don't just chase the goals, man, I hunt them down. This a one-man conquest, hand me the crown. This that pioneer flow, digging in the deep. Maximize potential while they fast asleep. One-man army, but I move like a boss. Never backing down, I just pay the cost. This that pioneer flow, digging in the deep. Maximize potential while they fast asleep. One-man army, but I move like a boss. Yeah, I run this game, I just pay the cost. It's deeper than the money, this is for the bloodline. Gotta make them see a hustler who's gonna always shine. Make sure that the legacy is set in stone. Show them how to build a whole damn world all on their own. This that on the map mindset, on the track. Like a grandmaster planning the attack. I'm the ultimate team player cause I build a whole team. I'm the one-man army that supply the whole dream. From the new speech to the coaching plan. I'm putting my whole soul into the master plan. This that pioneer flow, digging in the deep. Maximize potential while they fast asleep. One-man army but I move like a boss. Never backing down, I just pay the cost. This that pioneer flow, digging in the deep. Maximize recognize potential while they fast asleep. One man army, but I move like a boss. Yeah, I run this game, I just pay the cost. One man dynasty, with the whole team meeting. It's that pioneer flow. Maximize everything.